Yeah, good for you, buddy, but I can't do that. I've got ADHD. You're not good at that. That's you. So let's talk about ADHD. Hi, my name's Lamont. If you're new here because of the title, then welcome. Thanks for clicking. And whether or not you're interested in learning a language, which is what I do on this channel, language learning stuff, then maybe stick around, see if something that I say resonates with you, and if it does, awesome. So I've noticed an increase in the number of comments that I get about ADHD, sometimes in a positive tone, but often about how a tip I've given on how to learn a language or how to get the best focus out of yourself, how to concentrate, isn't applicable to the person making the comment because they have ADHD. And I'm trying to move this channel away from advice and more in the direction of language learning ideas and experiences. So often, if I say something like, here's what I did, here's what I tried, and here's what worked about that for me, I will get someone saying, no, that wouldn't work for me because I have ADHD. And when that happens, I'm pretty sure that that person is looking at the wrong part of their personality for why it would not work for them. And I know this because, and you may have guessed this was coming, I have ADHD, and so do both my kids. So if they're saying that something that I did that worked for me did not work for them because it just wouldn't, because of something else about their personality, then that's absolutely fine, of course. I'm not here to tell people that everything I do is going to work for them all of the time. I've seen things that other people dedicate themselves to for 20 years that you couldn't pay me $1 million to do for 1 week. Like, that thing is just so against my grain, and this person devotes their whole lives to it and they love it. So I'm not saying that everything works for everyone, because that would be dumb. But if you're saying that a certain thing that I've tried and I got good results from would not work for you, and it wouldn't work for you because of ADHD, then I think that's being reductive. And even when you yourself have ADHD, yes, I do think you can be reductive of that condition. You'll hear guys do this about guys, right? They'll say, oh, I'm not good at that, and guys aren't good at that. And you'll hear women say it. They're like, I'm a woman, and women aren't good at that. And whenever I hear that, I'm like, no, you're not good at that. Okay, that's not women, that's you. And that's fine, because not everyone needs to be good at everything. And I think people are doing a very similar thing when they say, I can't do that because of ADHD. I always just think, well, you can't do that because you're not cut out for that. It doesn't suit you, and that's fine. What I'm getting at is that ADHD is an aspect of your personality and an aspect of my personality, but it's not the whole personality. And I would say not even the majority of it. I'm old enough to remember a time when ADHD was both rare, or at least a known diagnosis of it was rare, and stigmatized. People, myself included, unfortunately, would just hear an ADHD diagnosis and think, well, that kid's a write-off, they're never going to do their work at school, and they're going to chuck a tantrum like a toddler whenever anything doesn't go their way. And I think most of us should be able to agree that that attitude is, firstly, incorrect, and secondly, not good. So I would encourage you not to do that of yourself either, because I want people to take whatever they can from my videos. And if that's, whoa, you're crazy, I'm not doing that, that wouldn't suit me, then that's great. I'm happy to have saved you the time. But if your reading of something that I've done, that I've said has worked well for me, is, well, it'd work well for you, but it wouldn't work well for me because of my ADHD, then either one of us has been misdiagnosed, or you're simplifying ADHD, which I think is more likely. I do want to take the chance, while we're talking about this, to apologize to people for times that I've been like, everyone should do this because it worked for me, and I've not taken into account that I can probably be quite extreme with some of these things. And that apology is probably particularly applicable for the non-ADHD viewers out there. Some of the stuff I've done on this channel is probably more suited to people with ADHD. And the other thing is that when you're making a video about it, that changes your attitude to it as well. So for times that I've done that kind of thing and thought that it would work for everyone, I'm sorry. But I personally don't take my ADHD into account when deciding if I want to try to do something. I try to think, could I do that? Yes or no? And would it be worthwhile? Yes or no? I try to apply those two questions to everything major that I set out to do. But I sometimes forget. And I set out to do things that are probably not a very good idea and are kind of wastes of time. And that's just life. So I hope this video has helped you to think about what ADHD does, or maybe particularly doesn't, mean, whether you live with a diagnosis of your own, or a family member, or a housemate, or you're just interested in the topic. I mainly just hope that my videos have been helpful to you and will continue to be helpful to you. And while we're here, since I'm talking about something that isn't really my niche anyway, I want to say something that I often get corrected on when I say it at the end of my videos. I'm quoting a film, okay? I know it sounds wrong, I understand that, and I don't begrudge the people correcting me on it, but I'm quoting a film when I say lo quiero, and how I do that, and terrible. That was so bad.